Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. Today, I'm going to be doing a full-on review on the new character Sephiroth that was recently added to the game. Now, for some people, they are absolutely hyped beyond imagination. For others, they're a little bit upset about the fact that we now have two different Sephiroths in the game, which I can totally sympathize with. But for today, for this video, I am going to be hype on Sephiroth, even though I think that he is absolutely power creeping basically every other DPS in the game, and I'm going to be showing you guys that here today. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to be showcasing Sephiroth against the Escalation 20 Bahamut Sin. Alright, so that being said, guys, let's get into it. The first thing we're going to take a look at are Sephiroth's ultimate weapons. Alright, so the first one is going to be over here in the metal exchange. I believe I already have it, but we should be able to see it here. Alright, so let's go down here to the bottom. Alright, so here is Sephiroth's ultimate Masamune. Honestly, not really a great option overall. I mean, most of his kit is magic attack. Actually, basically all of his kit is essentially magic attack focused right now, if not most of it. And so this is okay how it has a magic defense break plus the magic attack high. But the moment he has something physical, it's, going to fall off. So as of right now, it's an okay weapon. I would say not the greatest of the exchangeable ultimate weapons, not the worst of the exchangeable ultimate weapons, but the nice thing about this is the skin we can use with this weapon, guys. It's a glowing blue Masamune, which is really cool to see in battle. So right here it has the boost ability potency, 22 points right here, and physical defense, which is a bit bleh. I wish you would have gotten 2 DPS abilities or something along the lines. Alright, so that being said, let's go take a look at the actual new ultimate weapon for him, the one that all of us want here today, and it is going to be Heaven's Cloud. Now, this weapon is by and far infinitely better than his free one. The problem is that it is only featured on the next banner to come. The entire Advent Children collaboration banners have just been, in my opinion, a total flop on Applebot's part. It could have been handled better in so many different ways. It's unfortunate to see how it played out. But that being said, we are not going to be able to get this until the 17th. You can still get it on the current banner, but it has the same percent draw as any of the other ultimate weapons that were already on banner. So extremely low, guys. So getting this right now would be, other than a pity, almost impossible. Now let's take a look at this. All right, we have boost ability potency 22, so the same exact R stat on the first one as his other ultimate weapon. Then we have mass interruption all allies, where essentially he's going to amplify physical and magic abilities to all allies when interrupting an enemy, so like a Sidro break, etc. The potency is 30%. It lasts 40 seconds and can be extended 40 seconds. So very powerful. We've only had amp physical magic abilities to the next attack, so now actually getting it for an extended period of time is so much stronger than just amplifying one attack. This is really what I think they were kind of building up to all along. So super powerful. Then we take a look at the actual weapon stats itself. We have Meteoric Onslaught, charge time 50 seconds. It has 3 casts and will deal 2000% physical magic non-elemental damage. It does apply haste and exploit weakness to his self, a potency of 40% with a duration of 60 seconds. Guys, it's a very selfish weapon. However, it fits Sephiroth to a T, guys. It's going to give him haste. He can cast it 3 times and exploit weakness. I mean, the dude has everything covered in his kit. He doesn't even need. He has exploit weakness in his ultimate weapon. He has enfeeble in his limit break. And he's just insanely powerful with his Overspeed, or I can't remember the name of it, but we will check it out in this video. So all in all, this is a 10 out of 10 ultimate weapon. Really solid, so hoping to pick it up next week. Alright, now let's go in here. For those of you guys that don't know, normally we get a bunch of free tickets for a new character, guys. And I was coming in here because I cleared all the enhancements events, and I had literally 0 tickets for Sephiroth. Normally we have like 6 or 7, something like that. And then we get a bunch of other tickets for him, right? So if we go up here, where are they? right here. Sephiroth original guaranteed weapon ticket draw. We often get over 100 of these for a new character. As you guys can see, I've spent none of these, and I have 20. There's also only a couple packs in the shops that actually offer weapon parts for him. So honestly, everything about his release just screams money and greed on Applebot's side, which is so unfortunate, especially because it really makes Square Enix look bad. But that being said, if you guys do want to use the tickets that you do get, if you go down to the exchange, let me see if I can find it here. Sephiroth Original Enhancement Exchange. This is what you're looking for, guys. And you'll see that we can only actually get 5 of these, and we're limited to what we can choose, which is even worse. So we can only choose stock 0. We can only choose 4 Masamune, up to 4, and 1 Osafune, right? So we can't even choose which one we really want to go to, which is honestly, like, they're just kind of pigeonholing us into this area to try and get, like, everyone to spend everything they have on Sephiroth, which is just, it hurts a little bit, especially, you know, coming from a game that you love, you put a lot of time into, you're passionate about, your friends love it. You know, it hurts to see them making these decisions that are really not in the best interest of the overall player base of this game. All right, so that being said, let's go look at something fun. All right, so we're gonna go take a look at his actual build right here. Now, Sephiroth is pretty crazy. He literally has Reprieve built into his kit, guys. So if he wasn't already like power creeping the other DPS enough with his new Overspeed, he literally has Reprieve in his kit. All the other characters in the game have to equip a costume for Reprieve, and he just gets it all the time. So Sephiroth essentially has the boon of a guaranteed third R ability for any costume, because you could essentially look at it like every single one of his costumes now has Reprieve on it in this third slot right here. So not only does he get the 2 R abilities from the costume, but he always gets the guaranteed third R ability, which is Reprieve, which is insane. It is a huge jump above all the other characters in the game, and something that I'm not really sure why they did it. Now, to take a little bit of a tangent, I've heard some rumors about people saying that, you know, Sephiroth is planned, there might not be any more banners for him. I haven't heard confirmation of any of this. If you guys have confirmation, I heard that there was in the global live stream, which I also heard wasn't the most amazing. But yeah, so anyways, guys, I'm not exactly sure, because I've had a bunch of people asking me if, you know, Sephiroth is going to never have banners again. Guys, he's a huge cash cow for them. He's definitely going to have banners in the future. The problem, you know, I would say they're probably going to be further and farther apart just because of how strong he is. He kind of breaks the game with whatever element he has. Like right now he has Magic Fire, and he basically breaks Magic Fire, right? Like nothing else comes close. Magic Fire is now the official strongest element in the game by far, hands down. Super powerful, and it's all because of this guy right here. All right, now as for costumes, we have 2 costumes. He did not get a gear voucher costume, which I also thought was a little bit scummy, not gonna lie. But here we have Ruler of the Planet. It's gonna boost HP and give you Wing of the Ruler. You know, not bad. For a free costume, it's actually considerably better than all the other ones. It is a decent all-arounder, but nothing great, right? 15% is not crazy. Now, going and looking at his next costume, we have Corruptor of the Planet. This one has boost attack to all allies, which is fantastic. At 50 points, we're going to get 7% all the way around. I think we normally only get 5%, which is a upgrade from the other ones. And then we get Wing of the Corruptor right here, which is basically an Omni Arcanum with the extra HP percent on it, which for him at the moment is absolutely fantastic. Now, taking a look at his weapons, he only has 5 weapons. This is how much I have them leveled up right now, based on all the pulls I've done and the exchange weapons that I got from the enhancement event. All right, so looking at his weapons, guys, we'll just start down here. Now, we have Shiranui. I'm just going to take a look at these at OB10, guys, and kind of quickly go through them because I talked about a lot of these in my to pull or not to pull video. This is a very powerful weapon, guys. Like I said, he dominates Magic Fire now by far. So dealing 13-40% Magic Fire damage with like no threshold that he needs to meet in order to raise the damage is insane. Then he's going to apply a fire damage bonus effect to the entire team, okay, which is going to just add 30% raw damage dealt when using a fire ability. So just absolutely super strong, very good weapon. We have boost magic attack all allies, which is great. Fire potency here, a double magic attack boost, and triangle sigil boost as well. All right, so there is the Shiranui. So absolutely owning magic fire. All right, then we have the Kotetsu here. All right, so for most DPS, they're typically going to have, you know, a couple like breaking weapons, right? They're going to have something they can use as an offhand in their kit, and typically what you want is something that is going to break physical magic attack high on the first cast, which Sephiroth has right here, guys. So right here in the Kotetsu, very strong. It is a physical one, and everything in his kit has been kind of magic focused so far, but it is what it is. We know that he'll probably get some physical stuff in the future. All right, this is going to reduce physical magic attack high on the first cast, super strong, gives HP and ability potency right here, double physical attack boost, and triangle sigil boost. All right, now going on to the next weapon, which is the Masamune. At first glance, this weapon doesn't really seem like anything special. It's kind of like a Bahamut greatsword, except it's only single target, but if you take it to OB10, the weapon truly unlocks, and there you can see that he gets the other thing you would want on a breaker as a DPS, which is being able to break physical defense and magic defense both to high on a single cast, which is what is unlocked on the Masamune at OB10. On top of that, he does 60,000 additional non-elemental physical potency damage, along with 800% physical non-elemental damage as well. The R abilities will be 62 over 42, which is a very good offhand weapon for DPS as well. It is physically focused, and we have the double physical attack boost and triangle sigil boost down here as well. It is interesting that both of his support weapons are physical, whereas the rest of his kit is kind of magic, but it is what it is. Actually, I can't remember if the Kikuichimonji is magic or physical, but we shall see soon. Alright, so the next one, here is the Asafune, very strong water weapon, not quite as strong as the fire one because this gives magic attack mid to high to all allies, so you will have to catch it twice, which is not like crazy because, you know, you're going to be basically casting this over and over and over, but magic attack is something that can be brought by other people in the team. Sephiroth, the other Sephiroth at least already had a magic water weapon, so, you know, it is what it is. It's a good weapon, for sure. It is very strong, but we haven't had a chance to use it, and mine's only OB1, so we'll get to see, I guess, in the future. And then the last one right here is the Kikuichimonji. Alright, so this one is magic focused as well. This is going to be what I would say is Sephiroth's best weapon. A lot of people are saying the fire one is the best weapon. I disagree. I think the fire one is an amazing weapon, equally as good as the Kikuichimonji, right? But it is far more niche. The time in which you can use it is far less often. This weapon will be his best offhand weapon in slot for a very long time to come, which means whether you're using fire or water or anything, you are slotting this weapon. This weapon is insanely powerful, guys. All right, it's going to give physical ability bonus damage equal to 30% of damage dealt to all allies, including himself, all right, which will stack with the buff from his fire weapon Shiranui. Okay, and then it's also going to give him haste on the first class as well. It gives boost attack all and boost ability potency with the double magic attack boost and triangle sigil boost. So all in all, Sephiroth has a very strong starting kit. He basically has everything that you would want except for other elements. And as of now, based on how strong he is, I do think that maybe he might be a seasonal character, but that is unconfirmed as of now. I can only imagine, knowing Applebot and how kind of greed-oriented they tend to be, that they're going to probably try and cash out on Sephiroth as much as possible. I'm not really sure they care about the DPS, the power creep on the other DPS based on the overspeeds, but we can only wait and see. Time will tell. Alright, so that's going to basically conclude his weapon, guys. He's very, very, very strong, as you can see. Now let's go and actually take a look at him as a character. Okay, now we'll go over and we'll take a look at his overspeed right here. It does have a different name. What's it called? Unknown tuning. Alright, guys, so this shit is insane, okay? Now, this is totally different than the other characters' overspeeds. So this functions completely different from everybody, alright? So this is unknown tuning. Charge time 200 seconds. I did notice the charge time is longer than the other characters, right? But it is super powerful. So while activated, this will grant immunity from damage, all damage immunity, While in effect, Overspeed gauge is reduced by 10% every time total damage received exceeds 30% of maximum HP. Alright, so let's say Sephiroth has 9,000 HP. Every time he takes 3,000 damage, 10% of his Overspeed timer is going to get knocked off, okay? Right? The ATB cost of his self becomes 1. So now all of his abilities cost 1 ATB. Okay, so sigil breaking, just attacking, anything. He becomes an absolute monster, plus he's immune to damage, which is literally insane. Then he's also going to get physical attack 20%, magic attack 20%, and it lasts 40 seconds, guys. 40 seconds. Literally insane. Okay, now if we go up and we take a look at these, I don't think it really changes too much. All right, nope, it hasn't changed at all. So the specs don't actually upgrade as you get the 3 levels of the unknown tuning. It's always the same whether you're at level 5, or maybe this is just level 5 and this is all I can see right now. But either way, guys, it is an extremely powerful Overspeed. Sephiroth is truly OP in his fashion, as I would say, guys. All right, now let's take a look at his actual like growth tree right here. So we're going to go back over to Sephiroth right here. Why is it so hard for me to target? Oh, because I'm on him. All right, so let's go back to care. Okay, and we're going to show you his limit break right here. So this is limit break at level 10. By the way, every character in the game got an upgraded limit break at level 10. However, I don't think any other character in the game got enfeeble on their limit break with a charge speed of 900, guys. 900 on the charge speed for enfeeble, while it also does 3,000% physical magic non-elemental damage. So he has literally weakness exploit haste built into his weapon, enfeeble built into his limit break, and a overspeed that absolutely trumps everything else in the game, making him immune to damage and also able to chain abilities at a 1 ATB command cost. I mean, is there anything that could even come remotely close to this? And the answer is no, guys. It's absolutely no. Alright, so basically, guys, the conclusion on Sephiroth is that he's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And I'm going to be showing you guys that here right now. So I'm going to go over to the event and I'm going to show you guys a build with only an OB2 Shiranui against the Escalation 20 Bahamut Sin. Now, I've only beat the Escalation 20 a couple times. I've never beat the 25. I probably could if I really got all sweaty about it. But they're typically pretty hard. Now, I'm going to be going into this weapon with this setup right here. I'm going to be running Aerith, Lucia, and Sephiroth. Now, I want to make a note for anyone who saw my Escalation 15 video. I made a mistake in that video. For some reason, I was absolutely set on the fact that this weapon was an Imperil, all right? But it's not. So this actually just raises fire damage for the team, and so I had thought that this was an Imperil weapon. So actually my guide video for Escalation 15 was without an imperiling weapon. So I made some changes here. Thank you to the person who made that note for me. I appreciate it. And I'm going to be showing you guys the team that you should be running if you're running Sephiroth, although you could switch out Sephiroth for Tifa or even Zack as a magic fire DPS. All right, so going into this battle here, I'm just going to briefly touch on the other characters just because this is a Sephiroth showcase. But for Aerith, we got the Bahamut Rod, Breath of the Earth. We have the Crimson Rod, Camarada for the magic defense buff. This is for the magic defense break and the magic attack buff to the team. We have the Princess Guard, and we have sigils. We have Circle Sigil on Aerith. I'm not worried about it. Triangle on Sephiroth and Lucia. They're going to raise the damage sigil bonus, and then they both have circles to break as well. For Aerith, we have magic defense specs on the materia along with healing. For Lucia, we have magic defense and fire potency. And then for Sephiroth, pure fire potency. All right, now taking a look at Sephiroth himself, we are running the new costume right here, the Kikuichimonji in the main slot and the Shiranui in the offhand right here. So it is only OB2, but the weapon at OB2 is already dealing 720% magic fire damage with a 20% bonus on top of that, which is roughly another 140% bonus. So very, very, very strong weapon, guys. Now I'll show you Sephiroth's stats right here. All right, so he's sitting at 21k HP, 15,100 magic attack, 286 physical defense, 292 magic defense. Let me tell you guys, the Memoria really makes the teams tankier. like insanely tankier. It's a really nice thing to have. All right, now for his abilities, we have obviously his reprieve, magic attack 7, fire potency at 6, ability potency at 6, magic ability potency at 4 right here. We're losing some R abilities because of the lower OB levels, but he's still very strong. All right, now looking at his sub-weapons, we have the Electro Cannon right here for magic attack, magic ability potency. We have the Flame Projector for magic attack, fire potency, and the Shell Knuckles for magic attack, fire potency. So that is going to be about my build for Sephiroth. Here is Lucia's stats and her back end right here. All right, so we have a magic attack all, we have the enemy launcher right here, and we have the Radiant Edge for physical attack, fire potency. And then going over to Aerith, we have a magic defense all weapon, magic attack all slash healing in the Bahamut Rod, and attack all slash buff debuff duration in the Rocket Lance. All right, guys, so that is going to basically conclude the team. Let's get into the fight. All right, guys, here we are going into the Bahamut Sin Escalation 20 battle. Let's frickin' get it. I'm going to leave this on semi. I like it on semi when there's a lot of sigil breaks in a battle. All right, so at the beginning here, I'm just going to wait to 5 ATB, cast Scarlet Inferno, jump to Aerith. She's going to Spiritual Harmony, and Lucia is going to Napalm Assault, and then also drop the Bullet Hail. All right, here we go. And we're going to block. I'm going to save my Overspeeds for halfway through the sigil break. All right, let's go. I'm just going to heal with Jubilation. Crimson Fluorescence right here. And we are getting to it. He's going to go into his sigil break pretty soon. And here it is. All right, so at the beginning, I'm just going to focus the triangle sigil break with Lucia and Sephiroth. All right, Aerith will focus on healing while also doing occasional circle sigil breaks. And we are going to drop the Overspeeds closer to the end so that we can keep them during the interruption phase. All right, here we go. Almost there. Once we fully break the triangle on the damage sigils, we're just going to switch over and break it. All right. And here we go. All right, circle break, gonna go into the ultimate weapon right here. All right, for Lucia, gonna also go into boost volley, and we are going at it right now, guys. So I'm just gonna go straight into these sigils. I didn't even need to use it, actually. All right, maybe we'll get one more. And we're going to end with the summons right here. Oh, here we go. Guys, he's so strong. It's insane how strong he is. This is an OB2 weapon on Escalation 20. He's insane. Guys, he's literally so broken. I worry for the state of the game with how broken he is. I think it's a good thing that he only has 2 elemental weapons right now, because he would just be clearing everything. And this is without his ultimate weapon, guys. Keep that in mind. This is without his ultimate weapon. So honestly, Sephiroth overall SSS tier character, which makes sense for him. It is Sephiroth, the one-winged angel. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this review today and this showcase, and I hope that this helps you guys clear your own Escalation 20. So that being said, hope you guys all enjoyed the video today. If you liked it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.